Boom. Do you want to say hello? Hey, boss.
My little boy. Hey, Bubba. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah? That's right.
What's up, dude?
We're doing a podcast.
The brains of the
whatever
organization.
You are, my friend. That's right. Yeah.
That's it, mate. Mine's my cat. What's up, dude? My man. So, lad, how did you end up getting started on this whole crazy fitness journey that's kind of brought us here today?
Well, I was I played sport growing up. I played sport growing up all through high school, and just kind of always liked being active. PE was like one of my favorite subjects, which I think is a pretty similar story. And then when school ends, obviously you kind of don't have that outlet anymore. But for a lot of people, unless you make it to like a professional level, sport kind of ends at high school. So I through uni, I started getting into fitness a bit more, and kind of was jack of what I was studying at uni. Thought I would just have a gap year, and went and did my PT, like Cert 3 and 4. And I started doing some PT, kind of fell in love with that, and kind of tried to make a career out of that, and kind of didn't go back to uni. And a few years into that, I was just doing like classic bro weights kind of stuff, like just like a powerlifting program, but not really as a powerlifter, just bench and bis and chest, chest and tries and bench and back and bis. And then one of the PTs who was kind of like our mentor, he says to us, look, if you check out this website, Crossfit.com, they've got all these free workouts. They just post them up every day. Great ideas for your clients if you need like cardio circuits or just ideas for workouts. And so I was, oh yeah, sweet, kind of forgot about it. I went back a few months later and checked it out, and some of the workouts looked really cool. I didn't know what half the stuff was, as most people who do CrossFit don't know what a snatch or a clean or an overhead squat or even what's a wall ball, I don't know. So, but a few things I didn't know, and thought, oh yeah, this is cool. And watch the videos on the website, and they give you a little demo of how to do it. And I started thinking, this is pretty cool stuff. Like for me to do, like I should do this stuff. I'm not the fittest person. I'm just do like weights all the time, and I should probably do some cardio back, which you have when you're playing sports as a kid, but you lose that. And so I just got into it and loved it. Just fell in love with it. And it was the CrossFit Open in 2013 that like got me to go to a box, to an actual CrossFit gym, because I didn't want to try and do the Open with a video submission. That was like a bit of a tard when it came to technical stuff, like to videoing stuff. So I was like, I'll just go to an affiliate, have them tick it off for me. And then when I got to an affiliate, I fell in love with the community and like just everything that CrossFit is in an affiliate. And so that was me, all in CrossFit.
Yeah, hooked from there, innit, man? Like the community is what ends up like keeping you coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So addictive. What can you remember? What the first workout was that you did?
Well, I think the first CrossFit workout I ever actually did was it was, I don't even know if it was technically a CrossFit workout, but it was called the 300. And at the time, everyone, the rumor was that it's what the cast of the 300 did to get ripped. I don't know if that's true at all, but it was like 25 pull-ups, 50 box jumps, 50 push-ups, 50 deadlifts, 50 dumbbell snatch, 50 floor wipers, which never see that in CrossFit anymore, and then 25 pull-ups. So it added to 300 reps total. And the pull-ups, I did them like kind of strict, and like I remember it took me like, I don't know, 40 minutes, and I had to go throw up 2 or 3 times. Like about 20 minutes in, I was cooked, and I was like, I'm going down. I ran to the bathroom, threw up. Then you feel good after you throw up. I was like, I might as well finish. Like, come on. Nearly got to the end, and then had to go throw up again. I was like so unfit. And that workout, typically, if you look up on YouTube now, people probably do it like 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, max. It took me like 40. So it was real bad. That was like still just, I didn't even know it was a CrossFit workout. This was like one of the challenges in the PT studio. And I think that, I'm not even sure what the actual first CrossFit workout I did off of CrossFit.com, but I do vividly remember 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 wall balls and row cows. I remember doing that like very early on, and yeah, like the row probably would have been lucky to scratch 900 cows an hour. Like I would have been rolling so slow. And the wall balls, I think, were like in 5 to 10 reps at a time. I don't know. Like typically, I'd do that that workout now would be like an 8-minute workout unbroken. Back then, it was like a 12-minute workout. Back then, yeah, it probably took me like half an hour.
High rep wall balls starting off in CrossFit. That is ambitious, mate. Like, sack that off. You would
Yeah,
be
I mean,
absolutely cooked.
It was one of the few things. It was one of the few things I could do with my terrible mobility and lack of coordination. I couldn't like snatch or clean or like even thrusters was like holding the bar out here. Like, so yeah, it's been a long journey, I tell you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. When was the first time like you thought to yourself, "Hey, I'm going to start like competing in this"? Did you get the hook from that pain in a workout and was just like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm going to throw myself in balls deep"?
Yeah, I did the Open in 2013, like I said, and that was that was humbling, of course, but like I didn't expect anything of myself then, so I kind of knew I'd be crap. But it was probably like mid 2013, like coming towards 2014 Open, that I was starting to like at the things I was okay at. My times are pretty good compared to like videos I'd look up or like some of the top athletes' times. Obviously, still had huge weaknesses, but that's when I thought, hang on, like I'm pretty good at this, and like winning, most workouts in my box. Which, even though that's a bit of a trap when people are like, you're the best athlete in your box, doesn't necessarily mean much. But if you ever want to be someone, you better at least be the best in your box, right? So it's kind of the first step. And so yeah, it was like, okay, maybe I'm good at this, but I could give this a tonk, and then just kind of built naturally from there. Each year, got a little closer.
When was the first time you went to regionals?
I made regionals on a team in 2016.
Yeah,
that was the year that that was one of the years that I thought I was going to make it, but just a bit off. But we went as a team, and that was pretty awesome because we made the games as a team that year. And then 2017 came back with the fire in my belly and got the individual card in 2017.
Yeah, it's such a good experience though, isn't it, to go with a team and kind of get a taste for it that way, and the amount of people that end up like kind of going in through that door and then going in again but on the individual scale, like I think it's definitely the way to go if you want to get involved with it. Plus, if you've played a little bit of sport growing up, it's always that teamwork aspect too, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it breeds when you taste it, like you say, it just breeds a bit more belief, So that next year of training, you just bring that little bit extra percent to each session because there's a bit more belief there, and that all adds up. That kind of keeps snowballing to get you better.
100%. Was that with Torian that you went to the games with?
Yeah, 2016 that was Torian, regionals and games. Yeah.
Awesome. Is that your box?
I don't own it, but I've been there since it was created. So the two guys that own it, Mike Towner and Jono Snape. Mike owned another box previous called CrossFit Lift. That's the box that I joined, and I started coaching under him. And he taught me everything. I did my internship with him. I did a level 1, of course, but he's the one that taught me everything I know about coaching. And then he started he went into this business partner, Jono, and they opened this bigger and better this enormous facility, went next level with it. And so I was there when it was founded, and obviously I was coaching at Torian, and I've been working with Mike and Jono since for 7 years now, 2015. Yeah, 2015 I think we opened Torian, so 7 years now, 6 years.
That's mega. It does look next level. It looks like an absolutely wicked facility. And it always seems popping. I know IG is a trap, but it always seems popping with the whole vibes and the community, and then also the athletes that come out of it are fucking insane.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's cool. That's the best part about it, I think, is that as you say, it probably looks like this elite facility on Instagram, but actually, like every other box in the world, it's 90% just your everyday CrossFitters trying to get fit and healthy and, you know, stay mobile for their family, play with their kids when they're old and stuff. So it's really cool. Like, it's just all down to earth, like good people. Like, it's a good place to hang out. Just good blokes, good ladies, and it's just where you want to be, you know, where you go.
That's it, isn't it, man? Like, it's literally a place to hang out and spend your spare time. A lot of people that aren't really into fitness kind of look at you like a bit weird because you spend all the time in a gym, but it's also your social time and, you know, your de-stress time. You're meeting new people and you're making new mates. Like, it is definitely that space where everyone gets to de-stress.
100%. I think, like you say, like, I think normal, outside of CrossFit, exercise or gym as it's presented traditionally is boring. Like, it's not fun. It's like a means to an end. But the whole point of CrossFit is that it is fun and it's social, and like I say, it is what you choose to do with your spare time, and it's you know, it's your best hour of your day. And even the workouts that aren't fun, that's one of the like old CrossFit sayings, is that it doesn't need to be fun to be fun. And sometimes the worst workouts are the ones that are kind of the most fun in a weird way, because it's like, can't believe I just did that. Like, that's so good. Like, I thought I was going to have to quit. Like, that sucked on paper. I thought I was going to hate it, but like, I made it, and like, now I'm stronger and better for it. And like, you just get that like rush of endorphins of like, yeah, I you know, I walked through the fire, you know.
Oh, 100%. And then like you also see that of, we'll say like an everyday Joe, right? Like an average Joe. You see the confidence from on their face after they've completed a workout like that, where they've walked through hell. Like, my God, that's awesome.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's literally facing adversity on purpose to be better. And it's only a small, you know, it's exercise. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a pretty safe space. Like, so what? Like, you have a bad workout here, just get a good score. Oh well, see you tomorrow. You know, come make me better. So it's a really safe and low risk place to practice the idea of facing adversity and dealing with stress, and that carries over into other parts of your life when it does. When, you know, situations are more serious, when, you know, like the COVID pandemic, when things aren't going well business-wise, financially, you're worried about your family and stuff, and you build this resilient mental toughness from something simple and easy, like it's exercise or whatever, but it carries over to other parts of your life. It also gives you like that outlet, a place to go. You know, like, you might be stressed, and like, you know, we have a lady at the gym who got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's like, you know, even though my doctors said, yeah, you're on chemo, you probably don't have the energy to go train, like, just take it easy, go home. She's like, nah, I would have like gone insane, like, would have fallen into into that spiral of like depression, and just thought, you know, I've got cancer, so what's going to happen to me? Except for the fact that she had this place to come to every day where people are like just happy to be there, smile on their face, and moving, everyone's exercising. And I just can't help but feel good. Like, I'm around all these happy people, like, oh, I feel happy, and let's, you know, it's just escape, you know. It's like, and then she'd go on with the rest of her day and deal with all her serious stuff, all her real stuff, with this, like, but carry this little, like, you know, like, safe kind of like stability, I guess, emotional stability from this experience she's had at the gym, and that she just takes it with her. And so it was like, you know, it was a therapy, and it wasn't just the exercise, right? Obviously, it was a community. That's so important. Like, it's one thing just to do a workout and feel good, which you do. You do a workout at home, yeah, endorphins. But that won't cut it if you've got like some stuff going on, like, you know, like cancer or something. That's where the community comes into it. That's where it's like, it's not just going to work out. You're going to see your friends. You're going to get that hug that you didn't even know you need. But like, man, when you get that hug, you know you need it. You know, so it's cool. It's cool to see what that does to people, and it's something as big as that's a great example of something pretty serious. But even little stuff, you know, people have their little stresses throughout the day, and it provides them that place to go and get that interaction, get that boost of endorphins, that little feeling of accomplishment, that I beat a workout, I conquered something, like something went right in my day, even if everything else went wrong. And heck, it doesn't always have to be something bad. Like, maybe in a really great mood, maybe you've had an awesome day, so you go and cap it off with a smash or what too. So it's like, you know, the positive feedback loop as well. It doesn't just have to always be like a place to go for the lost and desperate. Like it's also, you go there when you're feeling pumped too, because you want to go share those good vibes with other people. And sometimes you're the person feeding the good energy into someone else who needs it, you know?
110%. I could not agree with that anymore. And the best quote I've ever heard from one of my members back in the day was, "We pay for this so we don't have to pay for counseling." And it just like completely epitomizes everything what you just said, right? Like whether you're having a good or a bad day, you still come into the shutters, you still high five or give someone a fist bump. Even if you give 10% or 100% of like your overall capacity today, it doesn't matter. You're still in working hard. Everyone's equal. And like, the barbell doesn't care who picks it up. It's still going to weigh the same thing, toe to bar, the standards are the same. And even that lady that comes in, or that gent that comes in that has had that bad news, they also like the fact of, hey, you're still going to get treated like everyone else. Like, yeah, if you need something, say, for example, someone's blown their knee out, right? Like, yeah, you might need a slight change. You might scale option or change things out or whatever. That's just logical. But at the same time, you're still going to be in here. You're still going to be working out and you're still going to get a high five at the end.
Well, that's exactly it. Like sometimes it's the worst thing for that situation is the pity. Like you don't want the pity. You want to come in and feel normal and have that normal experience. So yeah, 100%. And there's a cardiologist here in Australia. His name is Ross Walker, Dr. Walker. He does it. He was preaching about like exercise and diet and like lifestyle factors as a preventative for heart disease since before it was cool, like back in the 80s when when it was just heart disease was like diabetes. It was something you got and it can only be cured with medicine. And which we obviously know is not true. And he was always saying that. He's like, you pay for your health now or you pay for your unhealth later. But there's no option where you don't spend money. It's just how it works. Like, yeah, $50, $40, $60, I don't know, depends where you go. $100 a week might seem expensive, but what's it going to cost you later when you have that bypass surgery and you get slapped with a $40,000 hospital bill? Can't not pay it because otherwise you'll be dead. So, oh well, hope you have good insurance. Like, so, or worse, you're in the public system and you're on a waiting list for like 6 months and hoping you don't cark it before you get to the top of the list. Like, it's pretty, depressing stuff. But that's what people are looking down the barrel of if they're not taking care of themselves. And yeah, you could buy a dumbbell for $60 and work out at home for absolutely free. If you had the motivation, do that. But it's a small $50 a week, a small price to pay to guarantee your results by adhering to the program. You probably aren't gonna use the dumbbell at home. You're gonna let it sit there and go watch TV instead. Like, that's most people's problem, is it's hard to motivate. And so yeah, you're paying for that, the full experience. It's everything inside the box. It's magic inside those walls.
Oh, 100%, mate. And the thing is, it's the quality of life too, right? Like people say, no, I'm losing 50 to $100 a week. And I'm like, yeah, but you're also gaining so much more. Like, it's not just the negative. Like, you can focus on a little bit more than just the money going out your account. Like, obviously, if you can't afford it, then don't pay it. Like, there are other ways of doing it. Doing the hard thing is hard, unfortunately, but that's why it's called the hard thing. Like, if you genuinely are broke as piss and you can't do anything, go to your local park, do a workout. You're not confident enough, cool, stay in your bedroom and do a friggin' workout. Like, there's ways of getting around it. Go for a walk. There's ways of getting around it. But like you said, that community aspect keeps you accountable, and then you also make incredible friends. Like, I'm sure you can back me up on this, where the greatest friends I've ever made has been within the four walls of a gym. And they'll stick with you.
100%.
There you go. They'll stick with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like-minded people and thick and thin, they're always there,
Yeah, 100%. It's very much the cost versus value equation. Like, it's not that much money when you think about the value. And yeah, as you say, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. But most people, I think, that you could find something in the budget. There's coffee a day, or eating takeout every other day, or there's something in there that you could swap. And if you don't think it's valuable, of course it's like, well, no, I don't want to stop buying my coffees a day to go do burpees, like stuff that. Okay, fine. But what you got to understand is what's the value, like all the it's not just burpees. We know that because we're in it. There's so much more to it. So you just got to investigate. And also, it's very, very simple. If you want a result you don't have, you got to do something you haven't done. If you are completely happy with your life and the way you are and your health and everything that goes along with it, then you're happy. What's the big deal? But if you're not happy, which I think a lot of people who are unhealthy, if they're honest with themselves, they aren't happy. Okay, well, let's go fix it. You got to do something about it. You can't be unhappy and do nothing, because that is formula for depression, for bad quality of life, for not just being physically unhealthy, but then mentally unhealthy too, and it just keeps spiraling, and it's not a good place to be. You gotta either just be, okay, I actually am happy, and I don't care if I die of a heart attack at 40. Like, this is how I want to live. Love you all. All right, like, you gotta respect that. That's fine. That's your attitude. That's what you feel. But for being honest, I don't think many people feel that way. It's just hard. It's a hard thing, exactly as you said. And so, but if you want the result that comes from the hard thing, there's no other secret. Not yet. Maybe science will catch up, and there'll be that pill. But we're talking about the magic pill since the 40s, and there's no magic pill yet. So I'd say let's go do the hard thing, eh?
I mean, it's easier, right? You've got to read less. All you got to do is get up off your ass and go do something, rather than searching the internet and your books to find that secret pill. But the thing is, I don't think we'll ever find it. I don't think science will ever create something where we can take a pill and everything's going to be fine, or we can like drink a skinny tea or whatever you want to call it, and we'll all be fine, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
There won't be.
So it's just like,
I don't
go
think
do
so
it.
either. And I think even if, and you know what, the hard thing, ironically, is the easy thing. Once you do it, you realize it's the cool thing. Like, I wouldn't trade it, even if there was a pill that gave you the result. I'd still go exercise because it's fun now for me. Like, it's what and I think it's the human body was designed to move. It's fun for everyone. I think I truly believe that. It's just hard to see that when you're on the other side of it. When you're looking at it from the outside, it does look like a hard, energy draining, really scary. Like, it looks like a hard hurdle, and you don't love it for the first week or even the first month. You kind of hate it. You don't want to get up early. You feel tired at work. It sucks. Everything sucks. Everything hurts. You just got to punch through that, like, get through that metamorphosis, and then it's not the hard thing. It's the best thing. It's the best hour of the day. It really is, but it's so hard to see that or believe that when you're on the other side of it, because you're just looking at it going, nah, that looks like everything I hate in the world.
100%.
But, I've seen it hundreds, if not thousands of times with all of our members and other members around the world with CrossFitters, and like most of our clientele come in and they're heavy, like they're overweight, like they're not a picture of health. They're not a gym junkie. They're not a cardio bunny. They don't love it. They're coming in because their friend made them, because they told them, drink the Kool-Aid and CrossFit's amazing, you love it, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, I'll try it. And just deep down inside, they want a better result for themselves physically. And they get it, of course, because it's not rocket science. Like, you eat healthier, you move a bit more, you lose weight. It's a pretty easy equation. It's everything else they gain. It's the confidence, it's the friends, it's the achievements, like beating like personal best or learning new movements, or just feeling like you're in control of yourself now. You're in control of your life a bit more. And like, it's emotional and psychological. It's not just about burpees and losing weight. There's so much more to it. And then I see it. You see it in their face. Like, what was once their nightmare, like, I don't ever want to get off the chair and go exercise at night time. Are you kidding me? Is now like they're hanging out for it. They can't wait to get there early. They get there early, jump on the bike, and they stay late and do extra stuff. Like, it's addictive in all the good ways. But you just gotta take that leap, which is the hardest thing. It's always the hardest step is the first step, right?
100%. I think that one of the beauty things that have come out of, or maybe the only beautiful thing that's come out of COVID and the whole lockdown and people getting cabin fever in the four walls of their own house, is like, now it's come to the forefront of everyone's attention that, physical health and mental health is now one thing. Like, if you are physically fit but depressed as shit, you're not healthy or fit, and vice versa. You could be happy as hell, but like, your body is completely awful, and it's just like, hey, you're not fit or healthy either. You might be happy, but you're not fit or healthy. Like, and you know, you're going to get to that 40 years of age and things are going to start shutting down on you, and you might end up being lumped with that 40 grand, you know, hospital bill, which is not ideal. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. It is. You can't be one without the other.
it can't. And I think for too long we've ended up ignoring one side, and I think bodybuilding's done an incredible thing, but then it's also ignored the mental side, right? It's shown, hey, determination, work ethic, all that sort of stuff, but then it's kind of glanced over the whole ED. It's glanced over the whole, you know, people do it out of anxiety or depression or lack of self-confidence and all that sort of stuff. And now even, you know, we see people in that sector speaking up, we see people in the CrossFit sector speaking up, all the other sectors, like it's just fitness, like, you know, pick your poison sort of thing. Do you want to, if you join into CrossFit and you don't necessarily enjoy it, go try something else. Just move. You know what I mean? It's just adult PE. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, don't stress too
Yeah.
much, because you'll always find
Yeah.
your people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Find your people. So how do you
Find your people? That's it.
find your people? Like, one of my athletes actually told me that maybe like a month and a half ago, and it stuck with me. Find your people. It's just something so simple, right? You can read all the Stoic
Yep.
quotes in the world. You can read every ancient book, and someone will say like a couple words to you, and it absolutely sidelines you for like 2 months now.
Yeah.
So coaching and athlete, that is two pretty big balls to juggle. Pardon the pun. Oi, oi. And then a family. How'd you do it all?
Yeah, good question. It's just, I mean, it's what I've always done. Coaching's just been a passion, so it does require definitely, and I've gotten better at it over the last couple of years of really switching those hats. When you're in coach mode, you've got to be focused on them, like no thought to yourself. And then when you're in athlete mode, the opposite. Like it's just you're completely inwards focused, and you can't be worried about someone else's performance or anything like that. So it just requires a bit of a compartmentalization, which is just like a practice skill. I think I've done it for a long time now, and it's just when you're in coaching time, that's what you're focused on. And when your training time starts, like when the clock stops, you know, you're off the clock. It's me time, and that's just, it's like separating any work life balance, I suppose. And then the family time is similar thing, right? So it's kind of like when I get home, it's family time. Obviously, I have a gym at home that I train from, which is very much, I treat it like a home office. It's like when I walk in the gym, it's business time. I come back out of that gym, and once again, it's something I've had to get better at. I wasn't good at it at the start. When I walk out of the shed and into the house, it's family time, and like no more thought about training, no more feeling sorry for myself about a performance or thinking about what I should do extra, whatever. It's like, nah, switch focus. I'm here now to be dad, and to be husband, and so on. So it's just having those boxes, I guess, and you know, it's very much like anyone who works from home or has like a home office or anything like that. You just got to do that line in the sand, like this is work and now it's home, and just treat it like it is another job.
100%. But like coaching really does, it provides a pretty difficult thing, like, because we clearly care, right? If you didn't care, you wouldn't be a coach. Yet when you are training, that must be really difficult when, you know, you might see someone that could potentially benefit from your attention, or you can kind of glance something from the other side of the room and you kind of want to go and be like, oh, I want to help this person out, be the nurturing figure. It's like, oh wait, I've got the athlete hat on. Like, what would you necessarily do in that circumstance?
It's pretty good as far as the group that I train with. Mostly we're a bit of a group at the gym together, and everyone's pretty high level athletes there, so that there's not a heap of coaching needed, I guess. But we're all, you know, in the group, we're definitely like giving each other tips and you know, helping out with each other if we see, you know, obviously glaring weaknesses. And some of the pieces that we do, like the strength piece, is very much a case of like you take it slow and you're getting tips from people, and it's very community effort, I suppose. And then when we start the workouts, it's kind of like, all right, now it's like you just, when the clock 3, 2, 1 go, you just tunnel vision and you run. Likewise, I do the classes 3 days a week at the gym, like when kind of work till 12 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So jump in on the lunchtime class to finish. And like, if I, honestly, if someone's in front of me, like, there's something I want to, there's a tip I can throw out, I just give them a bit of a coach or whatever. But I treat that class kind of like a bit of bonus fitness for me. I think it's just it's cathartic to throw down with the members and hit the ward in the community and do the same workout that all the other guys are doing that I've coached them through, but now I'm going to take my medicine kind of thing as well. So that's, I don't stress too much about like how that hour goes for me as far as performance. And obviously, class workout, like it's a lot more like the longer warm up and a bit more, it's a different hour to how I would attack like a workout if I was just in the shed or in my own time. Like I might rip in a lot quicker and warm up less and whatever. So it's a different kind of hour, and very much like the novelty of the experience of the class helps me with like not stressing about how I'm performing in the class. And ironically, I kind of do some of my best work in that hour. But we got a great coaching staff, and like Will, who normally coaches the lunchtime class, I got full confidence in him to take care of the other members, so I don't stress. If I see something going on or someone's going too heavy in front of me or something, I'll say something. But if it's like I notice someone across the room who needs a bit of help, I have every confidence that Will definitely get to that person and see them through. So I kind of just don't worry. It's easy to not stress about it when you got a good team around you.
Oh yeah,
we all feel the same way. Dasha jumps in on the one of our coaches. She jumps in on the 9:30 class that I'm coaching, and same thing. If she's on the rack with someone doing some squats over, she'll give them some tips and put the coach's hat on for a second. But then when it comes to the workout, she knows that I'm going to get around and talk to those people and make sure everyone knows what they're doing. So she just focuses on getting her bar sorted, getting her scaling sorted, like knowing what she's going to do. And it works really well because we all have each other's back and we kind of know that.
100%. A lot of it is just trying to tell yourself to shut up, though, right? It's like that nurturing side comes out. You're like, oh no, I need to help everyone. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like that's not my role right now. That's not my job right now. So yeah, it's nothing to take away from any other coaches or the community or synergy between a lot of you. It's a lot of it is just trying to turn your own voice off a little bit and be like, all right, let's focus on some other things and be like a member. Right. So like kind of being a member again and just being that like cheerleader, come on sort of figure rather than like, oh no, you probably, need your chest up a little bit more. It's like, well, the coach has got that. Like I'll just be the one with the tutu saying good job sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I'm gonna ask you a pretty deep question, and I ask most people this mainly because I'm fascinated with people's answers. So this is for me really. What does leadership mean to you?
Well, how deep of an answer do you want?
You go balls deep if you want, lad, or you can mess around with the surface.
I guess I feel like when I think of leadership for myself personally, like what I want in a leader or what I look for in leadership, it's pretty simple definition, but obviously very hard to unpack. But it's someone who is a good leader is the person who can take me to where I want to go. It's pretty simple, but so a good example would be like the guy who coaches Tiger Woods in golf. He is not as good a golfer as Tiger Woods. That's a fact. But he can take Tiger where he wants to go. He has enough skill and knows the game well enough. He can look at Tiger and see this is what you got to fix that he can't see in himself. And so a lot of Olympians have coaches who might have been former Olympians themselves, but sometimes they're not as good as the athlete, and that's okay. So it doesn't have to be someone who's done what you've done, but it has to be someone who can get you to where you want to go. Now, oftentimes that'll be someone who has done what you've done. So, in CrossFit is a good example. Like most CrossFit coaches, you would hope do CrossFit. And so okay, this person knows what I'm going through. They've done it before themselves. They know they can lead me to a good result. But, Shane coaches Tia, and Shane is not as good at CrossFit as Tia, but he can get her to where she needs to go. And that's good leadership, right? Because someone they're not saying, do what I do because I'm good. They're saying, do what I say because you'll get the result that you want, right? Otherwise, they're just like, they can be, a person with leadership qualities who you want to hang around with because they're charismatic or they do know what they're doing, and you can learn a bit off them, and you get training partners like that feel like you hang around with them and you're a bit better for being around them.
Mm-hmm.
But someone who is someone who's a leader to you is going to take you where you want to go, and they're not focused on themselves. And if it's like a captain of a team, for example, obviously that ends up with the whole team winning. It's a mutually beneficial result. So it's not like the leader has nothing in it for themselves. But it's not just, I guess it's not just someone you can follow. It's someone who will actually, it's not just about the following. It's about where they're actually going. Direction matters in leadership. It's like a vector. You can't just have magnitude. You need direction. Mm-hmm. And that to me is important leadership. Otherwise, it's just, there's the 6 levels of leadership. There's a book about it, I think, and it's the lowest, weakest level of leadership is positional leadership, I'm your boss at work, so you have to do what I say, and that's very little amount of loyalty. It's okay, that's what the rules say. It goes all the way up to level 6 leader, which is you follow them for who they are as a person, their what the effect they have on people, and they take you where you want to go. So that's kind of the secret, right? When you're looking for a coach, or when you're looking for a box, or it's and that doesn't have to be super. That doesn't have to be deep, right? Where you want to go might be just, I want to be healthier and fitter, and play with my kids and whatever. Okay, so basically look any local box and just Google the closest one. That person can get you where you want to go, which is to a slightly healthier lifestyle, or greatly healthier depending on where you start. So that concept itself is not super deep. It's just, where do you want to go? Can they take you there? That's leadership. Well, obviously they have to be willing to do it too. That's the other part, obviously. A leader has to step up and take you there. Just because they can doesn't mean that they will if they're not focused on others, which is where the athlete thing comes in, right? Probably a lot of athletes that make good coaches, but they're not in that stage of life yet. They're still focused on themselves. And so they're not going to get you where you want to go, because which is fine. They don't have to be a leader, but just make sure you know who you're attaching the wagon to.
That's really interesting, because it relates to coaching perfectly, right? It's you stand at the front of the board and you talk to these people, and Sal wants to do this, Johnny wants to do that, blah, blah, blah. But you're not necessarily focusing on, I got 5:33 in this workout, I can't allow anyone to beat me. It's your time doesn't necessarily matter right now. They want to go as hard as they can in this workout. They want to get the best score possible. So it's your job. You need to put that leadership cap on and be like, okay, cool. I'm going to allow you to do that, because I'm going to give you as much of myself that I can in this hour. And that relates perfectly.
That's right. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Is that if it's just that lead from the front mentality only, it's an easy concept, I guess, of leadership. It's there's someone in the class who might not want to have the best time or do a muscle up or what. You can't assume that everyone just wants to follow this linear track to being this awesome athlete because that's what you did as a coach, because you're the best athlete. So they all want to be good. If I can coach them to beat my time and get them muscle up, whatever. It's some of these people have no interest in a muscle up at all. They're only at CrossFit because the deeper why is that they want to feel better about themselves, or play with their kid, or have a family member who died of something preventative, and they want all these deep whys, so that the bells and whistles of what they're doing is not important. They just believe that being in that room and doing those kinds of exercises will get them fitter and healthier, which is true. And so it's your job to lead them to what's the best experience for you in this hour. It's not necessarily just RXing everything, just moving up this scale of we're going to focus on the muscle up today because everyone wants to muscle up, right? It's like, no, they don't really want to muscle up. I mean, if they get one, they'll probably enjoy it. It'll be sweet. But there's not why they're here. And so spending an hour working the muscle up and doing this cool clinic and you're like, coach and how to do muscle up practice doesn't necessarily like connect with their why. Now, will it help them? Yeah, of course it will. Like working on the skills and building coordination and strength and agility and all that kind of stuff, right? Like it's still good to do that. But just don't get confused. Don't confuse the what with the why. You know, what you do isn't that important. It's why you do it. And then you can connect the why to any number of whats. And I say that when we do gymnastics class, I say to everyone, hey, some of you guys don't care about getting a muscle up today, team. Like I know that. Like some of you guys are like, whatever, it's boring. I just want to go for a run. I'm like, but you know, remember, like working the muscle up is not just working the muscle up. It's still fitness. We're still doing some gymnastics stuff. We're doing some strength, core. We're going to build our coordination. So it's going to make you a bit more athletic in general. So when you go and do other stuff, like, so, you know, there's value for everyone in that. But explain it to people. And people go, oh yeah, cool, and they buy in because it connects to their goals. Not just, hey guys, the muscle up today because everyone loves the muscle up. But that's wrong. Not everyone cares. And if you assume that because that's what you care about, you will not lead them where they want to go. Even though you think you're leading them. You're leading them somewhere, but that's not leadership. You know, you got to find out why they want or what they want, but more importantly, why they want it. And then it's pretty, like, you know, because, you know, it's almost like a bit of an all roads lead to Rome thing. Like so many fitness goals can overlap with the same kind of training. I want to lose weight. Okay, we're going to do some strength, we're going to do some cardio. Sweet. We're going to get fitter. Okay, we're going to do some strength and some cardio. Sweet. I'll get better gymnastics. Okay, we're going to do some strength because if you can press more, you can probably dip more. Then we'll do some cardio. Like it's very much like a one size fits all in a way. But people have to like connect. They have to believe it will help them. If they think that the result is not going to come for what they're doing, they won't buy in, even if it would have. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, convoluted way of saying people need to know you care. People need to know you care about them, or they won't care. I can't remember who told me that, but it's people need to know you care, or they won't care what you say. It's pretty simple.
Oh yeah, we are in an industry that you can definitely start on passion alone, and you do have to care so much, which a lot of the time, you know, you shoot yourself in the foot for that at the start. In the short term, it's difficult. Yet, if you genuinely care about the people in front of you, like it will go above and beyond, and it will stand the test of time, right? And it goes back to that muscle up is a really, really interesting example. And I think it goes back to taking, you know, like a 15-minute or a half an hour coffee with every member, right? And just learning who they are, what they want to do, where they come from, goals specifically, and then why. And then just kind of observing them in your class and see how they change week to week, and see if you can analyze anything that might have changed, or they're doing something that they've not done before. So then you're the cheerleader, you're throwing pom-poms around going, oh my God, like you've never done that before. And they're like, oh, well, I didn't know you noticed. I was like, of course I noticed, you know, like you're my people, I care, sort of thing. But the muscle up, yeah, it's like, oh, hey, we're going to do these like low ring turnovers with the band to focus on the hip drive because everyone wants a muscle up. It's like, but I couldn't give a shit, Alex. I was like, okay, cool. Well, what about if you want to get out of a pool? They're like, well, they've got stairs or steps. I'll just get out that way. And, you know, water, it makes me a lot less heavy than I am now. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that's kind of shot my two reasons in the face. What do I do now? And it's just like, well, hold on a minute. Like, you know, accuracy, coordination, strength, fun, like actually enjoying yourself within an environment, trying new things, like doing something you're shit at is always a good thing. Like, you know, we say make yourself vulnerable outside the gym. Well, make yourself vulnerable inside the gym. Do something you're not good at, like freestanding handstand holds. Who's good at that apart from ex-gymnasts, right? Or cheerleaders?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then maybe just go like, oh, well, you said you wanted a pull-up, right? Yeah, I want to do a strict pull-up. Well, here you go. intricacies of joint foundation, making sure you're strong and being able to move around. And it's just like, oh, okay, it's going to translate over to that, or it's going to translate over to carrying your kid or whatever, rather than just being like, oh, well, it'd be cool to like get on top of the rings, wouldn't it? It's like, mate, I'm 65. I couldn't care less. It's like, oh, let's dial it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's dial it back. Learn your people and be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like, John doesn't necessarily give two tosses about that, but he does care about playing with his grandkid and having a strong and functional body to do that. So let's make that example rather than like, no, it'll be cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. And we know that, like, just like squatting is that we don't just squat so that we're good at bending our hips and knees. We squat so that our legs are strong, and then we have knee stability and ankle stability, and you can take load through your joints and prevent osteoporosis and blah 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 blah. The muscle up isn't just about getting over the rings; it's about the coordination and forearm strength and joint health, and it is shoulder stability holding on the rings and so on. And that's going to help when you want to pick your grandkid up and your shoulder is strong in its socket. And like, we know that, but it is important to say that to them, because just being like, guess what, guys, I'm going to teach you muscle up today. I'm a great coach. That might connect to the young guys or the competitive athletes, but they don't, like, other people don't understand, why should I care about this? You explain to them, it's like, well, the muscle up is a great skill. It is a core gymnastic skill, and we know gymnastic skills are important for XYZ reasons. And as you said, it's just about fun. Like, could we get a similar stimulus from doing just push-ups and plank holds? Maybe, but is that as fun? Like, why not learn new things? And so we're just trying to we're just trying to be creative in helping you achieve your goals. But the fact is, you got to prove you care about their goals. Make the muscle up the most important thing. It's like, well, okay, the muscle up is just the means to an end. We're just trying to get creative by helping you guys, do some cool stuff in the gym that's going to get you the goal you actually want, which very well may be the muscle up, which is fine.
Bless you. Yeah, it's just like being in school. Like, they bring in some beanbags, and I was like, all right, guys, we're going to play some like beanbag throwing. You're like, what? Like, I thought this was PE, you know what I mean? We're going to chuck around some beanbags. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's so much more to it. And fitness is this Pandora's box that as soon as you start, like, you can't end up stopping, because you always find something that you're shit at. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I could probably run more. In fact, I can definitely run more. Am I going to do it? No, but I mean, it's still there. You know what I mean? It's oh, well, coordination's probably not good. So what are you going to do? Oh, go do salsa on a bloody Saturday night. It's all these different things that you can end up using your fitness and also gaining fitness, new skills. And people just say, oh no, I've got to go to the gym and, go to a 24-hour gym and have to do like 30 minutes on an incline at 2 miles an hour or whatever. And 3 sets of curls and maybe some wrist action, because, everyone needs a wanking muscle. It's like, hey, you can actually go do something that's fun. Just let's have some fun, guys. We're here for a reason.
Exactly.
100%. Mix it up. Right, dude, I won't keep you so too long from your family, so I really appreciate your time, brother.
Absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you very much. Good luck. When is the pro?
The pro is the 28th, 29th, 30th of May. So that's the third stage, I guess.
Third stage, yeah.
Season. Goes open. The open starts this Friday. Then the quarterfinals are in April. I'm not coming with the date sometime, and then to the pro from there.
Well, let's hope the borders have opened up and I can get on one of those metal birds and come over.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Appreciate your time, brother. Have a good one.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, man.